So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. He's going to wind up and air it out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Will Fuller, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On play action, Cousins. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Now that's a big pickup right there. And so often we focus on how the quarterback's faking on play action. How about everyone being in on the deal and picking it up?
2nd and 3rd levels, you could see them trying to recover. They bit. Worked out offensively. Cousins now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here we go. Yellow, 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 yellow.
Play fake. Cousins. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Vikings on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 7. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
This is taken around the 12. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Heading out as the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Tenth carry now for Lamar Miller. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Now Watson to throw on 2nd down. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Texans on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to sling this deep down. And got his man complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Handoff comes to Cook. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The Vikings on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. DJ Reader with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
He's going to air one out. And now here's another interception. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand new NFL record.
Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
The Vikings on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 14. To throw is Cousins. He's going to fire one deep. He's got a man. Complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big gain of 39 on 3rd. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Hey. 4 down.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Minnesota, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Houston, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Indianapolis.